Continue. Good thing you're finally up. The giant lights is gonna say give you a sunburn. They've been this excited for a while. What should you feed them? They don't seem to need food. Says who? I'm still a cute and tiny animal, alright? I'm trying to think of it. I don't remember the last time when I ate something was. Get it. You guys get the translation. I can somehow tell that none of that chatter is meaningful. It's almost time. The Crisis Hairs should be finishing up their preparations at the Vortex of Genesis. Let's go witness the core flames return when you're ready. Okay. Cool. Okay. Let's go in. Yoop.
Need something? If not,
I'm with you.
I really should get Lister Pard really much better than he is, but he's just not doing good.
pillars of the world, we seek your divinity to mend the rifts of the world. Fill our bodies with blood full, till we wither in willing service to the prophecy.
Your guests are here, Father. You can begin the ritual.
Lord Marty isn't home yet.
It's fine, Miss Casseris. He's spoken to me already. I told him he should be nurturing his wounds. He shouldn't be worrying about all this comrades once in a lifetime ascension ritual stuff. So, I'm ready to begin.
Teacher, show him the way forward.
We have Trinan this time.
Despite the myriad dark and endless nights that have gone by, the guidance of the prophecy is nevertheless as clear and bright as the first ray of dawn. Overthrow the gods, it declared. Restore the core flames, it declared. Bear the divine authority, it declared. Forge miracles, it declared. Oh, prophecy, forgive us for this late tribute. We, Chrysos heirs, have striven to start the flame-chased journey anew for these myriad nights. The seeds we sowed have finally yielded a good harvest. The seventh core flame needed for the miracle that once belonged to the great lance of fury, Nikedor, shall now be returned by an elected hero of the Chrysos heirs, an upstanding citizen, a valiant warrior, and a noble soul. Please step forward, Lion of Ides Elysia. Recite with us. We march through your 12 titans, pillars of the world.
We seek your divinity to mend the rifts of the world.
Fill our bodies with blood of gold, till we wither in willing service to the prophecy. Surrender the core flame, Chrysos heir.
Alright, animation. Oh. No animation, I guess. I think. I mean, kind of an animation, but I imagine we're going to see this another 5 times. So I guess they don't want to do a special animation every single time. Well, you have strife and trickery. Death is the only one we don't have.
Why is the vortex this silent? Was it also like that in the past?
Patience, Hannah. Do not make us question this decision.
Oh, hello.
Lord Miles? I'm afraid he's not the person you know, Castorus. That is a manifestation of the prophecy, an echo of the Titan's divinity. It is here to examine the Titan's successor.
Have a good trip. Oh, and he's gone.
Lord Finon is gone.
He has stepped onto the battlefield to fight a campaign that can only be won by him alone. All we can do is wait and have faith.
Chicken. Oh, level cap 11 to 20. Neat. The rest of them, but I don't like to just sit by and wait for my fate to be decided. That's yeah, that's fair. How are you,
If you
Cass?
truly are prepared, Lord Finon.
Seem worried.
I spoke at length with Lord Finon before. There was hesitation in his words. The manifestation of the prophecy must have seen this. It saw Lord Finon's heart wavering. Wherever he is, whatever he is fighting, I pray he makes it through this test.
Hmm. How are you, Trina? Are you fucking sleeping standing up? She fell asleep. Presiding over this ritual must take quite a toll. How are you, Aglia? How are you, Moss?
Finon steers his own fate. If he can conquer his fear and return as a demigod, we will be one step closer to the miracle that the prophecy promised.
Why he has?
It would mean his time hasn't come yet, and that there is a more arduous mission for him to see through. You must have noticed by now. Every Chrysos heir here bears a flaw of sorts. Be it the curse of immortality, or a constant erosion of their humanity. But not Finon. He is a Chrysos heir without flaw, a perfect vessel for divinity. There will come a day when he leads everyone we have left, through the gates of the miracle.
Hmm. No flaw.
Too late.
Oops. Oops,
My
missed the party.
constellation of the Lance of Fury is already illuminated.
The core flame has been surrendered, but Lord Finon's test isn't over yet. Prophecy sent an ambassador. They acknowledged Lord Finon's strength and character, but had doubts about his strength of will. He must conquer his fear and prove himself to the prophecy.
I was right to be worried. I want to formally thank you, outsiders. Were it not for your aid, our campaign against Nicodor would have been 100 times more arduous.
Isn't it nice to be polite?
Unknown reveres strength, military might. I do not mean we lack etiquette.
Marty, what do you mean when you said you were
They
worried?
don't know yet. That guy has always been tormented by his past. I may not be the right person to tell you about him, but you must know his past if you are to continue fighting alongside Finon.
Lord Mighty, please allow me.
Very well.
Before he was chosen by the prophecy, Lord Finon had everything taken away from him. His home, his family, his close friends. Everything he once swore to protect. It became a hollowed shell in his youth, and the blazing flames of vengeance were the only thing sustaining him. The prophecy gave him a new mission, granting him new life as a Chrysos heir. But which is more important to him? His new mission, or his desire for revenge? I'm afraid only he knows. No. Perhaps he himself is still struggling to get to an answer.
I acknowledge his strength, but fear is something not even the sharpest of swords can cut through. I hope you've toughened your resolve, Deliverer. Only a will as tough as stone can shatter your darkest nightmares.
Hmm. This quest is so long. There's so much in it.
Is something wrong? Don't keep me in suspense. Come on, tell me already. What did you see?
I just wanted to get a reaction out of you. Alright,
There it is. Pop-Pom, have you prepared our meals already?
Of course the food's ready. March isn't feeling well, so Pom-Pom has specially prepared the conductor's special bland meal that'll be easy on her stomach. Can you bring it to her, Himiko?
Godly. Why don't we also get her a...
No coffee when she's already feeling unwell.
I guess you're right. March, we're coming in, okay? Oh boy. Oh no. There's the six-faced ice stuff. That's not good. That's a lot of six-faced ice. Oh, to be... Fuck you. Fuck you. No. Really?
Need something?
If not,
Come on. Ah, it was so much though. In the Dawn-Kissed City State, a hero from the Outlands joined the ranks of the Flame Chase. Inspirations born from the journey are to be penned in the pages of a book. And that was the thing I do when I press this button. Yep. And I have another one of these. For who this time? Ooh. Huh. Okay. I'm most interested in Cass. Rolling in fallen bloom. I see a sword that grants death, a shackle of destiny, next to the silver-haired girl worshipped at the Demise's hollow. The sword stained with unknown blood, lying shattered and snapped, the shackle chained pale wrists knotted in the thickening rust. The priest asks with a shaking voice, "Upon whose fingertips will the butterfly perch?" The girl never answers, like death itself, wreathed in silent solemnity. People often say that dying is to meet the palm of the shadow of a hand, of the palm of the hand of shadow, and dreaming is to be brushed by their fingers a little. In the mirages when the girl petted death, she sees black waterfalls foaming and bellow, pouring down from a chasm in the sky where a solitary tower withstands torrents sallow. When she wakes, she can still feel the water's freezing touch, and cacophonies billow, like the wail of the dead, the howl of beasts, in confusion, delirium, and clamors hollow. The girl's embrace is not meant for the living. Thousands have entered the eternal sleep in her arms, granting to the dead solace and dignity. She mentions a ferocious warrior feared in battle. She did not go with a smile, but to me,
But to me she cursed. Oh, lifespan, how ugly you are, how despicable.
from that day on, she adorned herself. Her dress, white as a radiant moon, became always dotted with flowery petals.
For if death cannot be avoided,
So says the girl.
I wish we could continue beauty more plentiful.
Among the manifold rites about death, the ones she knows with most intimacy are burial rites. One burial of unfamiliar countenance after another wherever she presided, from the angelic visage of a babe passed in the cradle to the despairing eyes of the mother drowning in sorrow, from the scars on a war-battered general's torso to the unending tears pouring from his bereft widow. Yet she remembers not a single living human she had seen. Even in the mirror, she thinks her own face strange with an alien glow. In the countless words buried in forgetfulness, the only thing she manages to gleam is a mockery to fate, a sarcastic whistle.
Stay alive.
When she cast aside the shackles and stepped beyond Idonia, a deja vu most violent seized her whole. Did she, perchance, conduct some previous escape? Illusions danced across her eyes. She had once drifted in an endless river, then drove her single boat out of the deluge. She had wandered in the battlefield covered in corpses, then recovered the path back to life. Why must she escape? Over and over again. She now knows the answer and quivers, for it is a ludicrous surmise. The woman embodying death walks this world only because she knows she must stay alive. But alas, at that time she knows not. I didn't get to fucking read that. Let me read it. Nope, fucking go back to it. Nope, go back to it. Nope, go back to it. Nope, go back to it. I didn't tell you to fucking stop. I'm still fucking reading. Why do you do that? I'm actually fucking reading that. You piece of shit. Alas, at the time she knows not that death is not the end, it is only a butterfly landing on a withered branch, utterly meaningless, profoundly trite. Yeah, I don't know why you keep doing that. I'm trying to fucking read. Bitch. I'm actually interested in it. It's lore. It's fucking cool. Next I want to use you because Final's really cool. And Amphoria's untitled statues are a prevalent sight. As for the inspiration behind these statues, they are said to be the clay figures that Kefali made at the world's creation. They made clay figures in their likeness, bestowed upon them the breath of life, and allowed the golden divinity of their blood to course through. Thus, the very first mortals roamed the earth, receiving the God's mercy while realizing the sorrows of this world. In front of a statue, the people of the holy city beheld a man, Finon of Aedis Elysiae, I can't remember. He never spoke of his origins, only using his name to nonchalantly identify himself. People cast sidelong glances at him, their minds swirling with doubt. The man merely responds with a breezy smile, neither confirming nor disproving their speculation. Finon is a soldier, one with divinity coursing through his veins. Responding to the Gold Weaver's rally call, he traveled long and far to reach the holy city, eager to bring light to the hero's path.
This is but one sweet and flowing journey, where life and death seems as small as a speck of dust.
Ballads reach him through the breeze as though soft voices meant for him, and he responds in kind.
No matter. My existence is of little consequence.
Hades Elysiae, the man's hometown, shrouded in secrecy, just like his past. Some have searched for that distant village, yet found it neither written about nor passed down through song. In every nostalgic reflection, the man crafted a vision of paradise with his exquisite poetry. Yet, within the ancient texts of the Holy City, the history of that frontier village remains more obscure than the days to come. In the far-off future, the land of Amphorius will bear the marks of the hero's footsteps. With sword in hand, the man will inscribe an eternal mark in the Chrysos epic. Yet his real name may never be heard in this world again.
Losses are a constant on Phasia's journey.
Some too losing themselves at the very beginning of their journey. Oh, there's two of them. Guiding light and laughter and lament. In a corner of Okema, the newly arrived traveler stops for a moment. He rubs his eyes. The three children have differing smiles. One is beaming, one is a shrewd grin, and one is smiling serenely. Yet each of them looks just as mysterious as the other two. Tribios. This name has not been mentioned for some time. Only the elderly priests of Yanasopolis know the true significance of this name. As music from his hometown plays, the smiling children gather around the old man. They wish that the twilight breeze will carry away all tales of sadness. The end times loom like a dark cloud, hanging over the holy city's residents and shrouding them with worry. Like torches dancing in the wind, the children illuminate the alley. They wipe away the women's tears, babies sleep amidst whispers. On the windowsill of those in prayer, their light footprints remain. The citizens call them, yet they simply shake their heads.
There's no need to be so somber. How about we play a game together? Guess who we are?
The three soared and landed in front of the townsfolk. The old man says.
No, we're dreaming.
Trina is the quietest of the trio.
Dreaming?
The young girl asks.
No, we're actually dreaming.
Trian is the most spirited of the trio.
Then you must be dreaming.
A child shouts.
You're right. Good job.
Chibi is as enthusiastic as she is adorable. It matters not whether they can tell the trio apart. The most importance is their sincere smiles.
Wait, we'll send you the path to take.
The children fly ahead, guiding the lost back to the main road. Does this one have a voice? I don't think it does. So, you literally show people the right path to take?
You're lucky. We nearly took a wrong turn.
The children flew before me. It was rare to see them so quiet.
However, there are many more unfortunate souls who lost their direction.
There was once a dying soldier on the battlefield who wished to bid farewell to his lover in a distant city far away. The child leaned toward the soldier and said nary a word as she listened in to his final words of comfort. As for the other two children, they were in the city, beside a bed upon which a woman was lying in eternal rest, wailing uncontrollably. Not only do the three children share each other's senses, their souls are also interconnected. When one is filled with grief, the other two will burst into tears as well.
Perhaps we should tell you some happy tales instead.
The child wipes away her tears of reminiscence.
Our greatest talent is performing at parties, nursery rhymes.
But those nursery rhymes have been told over and over, that any literate child can recite them by heart.
Oh no!
The child gently flicks my forehead.
You should be reflecting on the nursery rhyme author's heartfelt intentions instead.
In this lush land by God's chosen, giants raise their glasses in a toast. People commonly see the children riding on enormous flaming torches, looking like shooting stars blazing through the holy city. An old man worriedly wishes the children to stop.
Don't dream it.
The quiet child shakes her head.
Don't dream.
The exuberant child raises her hands.
Stop nagging.
The mischievous child pouts.
Just play something we've created.
Every child in the world loves to play, and Chibios is no exception. Every child in the world is afraid of pain, yet Chibios tries to act tough.
Tradition preserved, and before us. The others have barely gone one step ahead.
The children swore they were already adults, yet when they carelessly hit the city gate, they crowd out in pain together. The tripartite prophecy is but a distant ritual, and the Chrysos War a painful dream. Echoes from the gate of infinity occasionally jolt her awake, and the distant travels of her identical sisters sometimes inspire uncertainty within her. A new journey only begins when the previous one comes to an end. Despite time marching forward endlessly, the children always manage to stay true to their hearts. They are all that remains of one another, their senses intertwined, their souls in communion. Okema, a city that warriors look back upon before marching toward the battlefield. The holy city, the sanctuary of all citizens, just as the poets of the city have sung.
The epitome of magnificence, unbounded benevolence.
And the beauty of the holy city is like Aglaia herself, dressed in finery and of noble birth. She is the dress master of Okema, the one who weaves with golden threads.
But there's one thing she'll never be able to achieve.
A jealous whisper can be heard.
She will never be able to produce something seamless.
The golden threads quiver, and a gentle wind rushes by her ear. She maintains her silence, but others fan the flames. Is that so hard? Her scissors and rulers are better than any garment maker. Sculpting forms as perfect as the gods
Lady
themselves.
Adelia, grace our eyes with your most elegant creation.
No.
Indeed, the words do not sit well with me, nor their duplicitous machinations.
Her gaze flits across the stoa, coolly regarding every member of the public. They used to wonder, how exactly do her eyes perceive if something is beautiful or not? As with the holy city that's perpetually bathed in light, how do people tell apart cozy mornings and frosty nights? For the weaver, the answer lies in her golden threads. Golden threads of the goddess of romance now serve as her hands and eyes. The colors of the world, intertwined with the undertones of human hearts, come flooding toward her. These golden threads are no less prideful than the master they now belong to.
As long as the thread ends long, it is enough to find seamless harmony.
Be it stitched finely and tightly, or cut cleanly with a single stroke.
Hardly a challenge. None of these pose a challenge.
The rhyme rolls off like seams, like a sigh, soft sigh from lips. The one who weaves golden gazes past me, fixed on something much farther, the network of threads that entwine all between heaven and earth. The only challenge that she relentlessly dedicates herself to is weaving the fate of Okema into a flawless, seamless outcome. A long line stretches across the square, merchants, shopkeepers, and even high society elite, all lined up together without distinction. At the head of the line was the path to Aglia's abode. Is the Holy City's fashion trendsetter going to reveal her newest masterpiece?
She's about to get ready or I'll break it to pieces!
Now I see why the holy city is really worried. Even as the inn nears, they're still obsessed with lavish clothing.
New to Okema, a visitor from elsewhere ends up utterly bewildered at the sight. It is said that a family of priests who worship Nestia go way back with the weaver. But her impeccable gift for weaving isn't meant to serve anyone's pursuit for pleasure. What was once a sacred duty was misunderstood by the beauty obsessed, who mistook fallen shreds for priceless treasures.
Our flawed creations really still earn king's adoration.
The weaver shakes her head. She seems to have forgotten something. It is precisely the flawed hero who walks ahead of the crowd, who casts a long shadow over the world, and who strides toward everlasting daylight. There are, nevertheless, people whom the weaver is willing to sew and tailor for. Her conditions are beauty sharp as a blade and the pursuit of beauty.
Me? I want to be sharp with abundant consideration and lots of flowers.
A melodramatic poet speaks out,
I want to stir her emotions.
the voice of a blushing young boy.
Do I fit the bill? My sister and I are refugees who need a gift. I want to get a pair of shoes for her.
A seated child speaks up. Next to him is a barefooted girl, staying silent with her head kept low. Unfortunately, gold threads are willful things. They are never swayed by sympathy or pity. A tense and worried look surfaces in the young child's countenance. Specks of dirt on his face brought back memories of a past encounter.
Go
The
to
weaver
all the
begins.
children in the city.
As messengers of Janus, they will bring him the shoes he hopes for. I've been wondering, did you used to take breaks during your travels? I believe it'll work-life balance. Since Singapore's hectic days are winding down, why not take a moment to unwind in the bath chamber? It's really relaxing. It might not be new stories for a while. Great tales take time to craft. I'll wait patiently for these enchanting tales, right here in Dreamland. You're coming back, aren't you? Thank you. Listening to you tell stories always brightens my day, even if it's not a daily treat. I'll always look forward to it. Until next time. Yeah, all 7 that are available. It reminds me of the next chance of presents. And I have a bunch of them here. Triplets of Fate, the Nameless Hero, Weaver of Gold, the Last Prince, and the Servant of Death. Let's go this far within a book. Read the first 7 seconds of the story, fall deep into thought. Return the core flame strike when finds return. And got all the way to 3. Oh, I actually got all the way to 4. There's a side from Mem. Take action. Troubles regenerates 8 energy. Interesting. They're probably going to add a whole bunch of new Remembrance characters. An allied target with 0 max energy actively uses an ability and can also gain 3% charge. The last ones are Ultimate Query set is 100%. It's a cool image. Of course, it's Finan and. Does he not have. I just realized he doesn't have a sword or a weapon at all. He just fights with his fists. You know, we got a Finan and Maide. But I think that's all for now. I think that's everything I can physically do in this moment. No, I need you to stop. Get out of here. Stop auto-activating every time. Now I've got an entire place to explore. Oh, wait, great. We got more quests. I'm getting so many pulls from this, too. Okay, I have 660 already. That's insane. Probably use that to... Probably get a whole bunch of stuff like this, maybe. I do need a lot of stuff. I just wish I could get weekly boss materials by, like, actually buying them, but I can't. What does this actually do? Huh, recovers a bunch of skill points. Which makes sense, because she uses, like, a ridiculous amount of energy. What's her energy total? I think it's, like, 200. What's the energy cost? It should show up somewhere. There's yeah, 220. And that's more than, like, a lot of characters, because that's a fucking lot. Yeah, 110. That's literally double standard Herda. Yours is 100. Yours is 120. Yours I know is pretty high. Yours is 240. I think Firefly might be like one of the only characters with a higher burst cost. Yeah, like 110, 160. Yours takes stacks. 120, 110. Like a character I can see that would take like a lot more would be Argenti, which is 90 and then 180. So it's still even not that much. It's not even 200. See, I think Firefly might be the only character with a higher energy cost, but even then, it doesn't really matter considering she gets her energy from just using her skill twice, because it just gives 50%. It's not even an amount; it's just 50%, which is insane. And you start at 50% anytime you enter a battle. If you're not at 50%, it sets you to 50%. Only if you're below it, though. Interesting. Does this go anywhere? Can I just walk up here? And, oh, it's a chest. I didn't even know there was a chest in here. Just another chest. There are two chests in here, and they're on the same spot, just on different elevations. Probably gonna, for the next, I don't know, probably not at all, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, there's a lot of chests to get. I'm probably just not gonna bother. I guess that's the thing I was talking about. Who's here? Sparkle, Argenti. Let's go check in March. I want to actually see if I can actually see March or not. Yeah, holy crap. Clear eyes. The young girl remains silent with her eyes fixed shut. Yeah, what in the heck? Yeah, it's not cool to touch. There's something particularly saddening about seeing a young girl who was so normally so full of life fall into complete silence. Yeah, that's such a crazy thing to see out the window, too. Of course, the first time she's not here, something fucking happens to her. That's what's insane. Yeah, I'm just interested to see. So what is my next little thoughts for the next little bit? That was a really good quest, I will say, for absolute certain. What I'm surprised about is just that we got introduced to so many characters, and there's still more to be introduced. There's some character called Cypher, which is very interesting, and I'm very interested to see in the future. It doesn't look any different in here. For the next little bit, I'm going to do a bunch of exploration in Forius. Then I'm probably going to focus on doing whatever this is. Or Golden Gears, because Golden Gears could be pretty fun with the Herda. Because the Golden Gears is all about erudition, and erudition is, you know, the Herda's best thing. Even though I don't understand Golden Gears mechanics. As for upcoming characters, right now, weirdly enough, I'm not going for her light cone, but I am going for Fei Xiao. Because Fei Xiao is just one of those characters I really want to use. She's the only hunt character that I was like playing. I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm not too fond of single target that often, but it is sometimes really useful, especially for boss battles. Then, for upcoming characters though, Chibios is very interesting. You know, all of those three. But I think I'm more interested in Finon. More than anything. As basic as he is, I think he's kind of cool. I think he's the only character to really wield, like, a large sword, either. Because usually characters wield, like, very unconventional stuff. Like, the Herda has literally got a magical girl staff. Herda uses a giant hammer. Japard uses you can't see it, but he has a friggin' guitar case, musket. Let me just think about all these for a second. Swords created out of nothing, but also a giant mech suit, a fan, incense, a freaking like feather now, which just came out of nowhere, by the way. A hat, a lance, and a baseball bat. Hakron uses a sword, just a katana. Uses a cane that is actually a weapon of mass destruction. Bare hands, guitar, mahjong tiles, an ice pick, two like blades with chains connected to them, a big spear, just kind of slaps things with a tail. It just kicks enemies, and has a mask. Throws all these little knife things. We haven't had any like big sword characters, which is just no. That's a lie. We have had one. We've had one, and it was a really big sword character, really big. I kind of forget she's in the game. But we had, where is she? Yeah, here, Yunli, technically. But I still think that's the only like big ass sword character. There are some characters that are kind of close. I guess you could consider Arlan, but his is a very interesting weapon. Other than that, we've had. I'm trying to think about this. Sushang. Blade obviously uses a sword, but again, those are like normal sized swords. Dude has like an actual like thick great sword, not the ridiculously big sword Yunli uses. Anyways, I'll probably also be farming a lot in Divergent Universe because I just want to get through all the levels. Anyway, that's all for now. I need to go to fuck to sleep because that took like fucking 10 hours, almost 11 hours. That quest was so long. No, my goodness. I'm going to bed.